Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Hope you guys are all doing well today. I'm going to discuss today about the narcissist, the covert narcissist. Now, in my case, female covert narcissist, and there are a lot more female covert narcissists than there are male covert narcissists. And I'm not particularly picking out women, okay? I know, actually I believe the studies say that they're probably they're about equal. I don't think let's check. You know what, who cares? I might check that at the end. Now, I do this every once in a while because it's hard not to look back and think of the things that happened. And one of the reasons why I'm even in the place I am today, God above all, because I mean it had to be a plan of God's anyways, you know, to teach me some lessons in life. And it makes me wonder, is this the reason why a lot of people are affected by narcissists only to come out much stronger? And I mean much stronger. And I'm not saying that as if I'm like a really tough person. That's not what I'm saying. But that's what happens. If you came out stronger out of what happened to you, you're resilient. You're very resilient. And if you came out of it with, and listen, a lot of people come out of this without the hope of Jesus Christ. That's unfortunate, and I hope for those people. But for people who believe in God, I think they have an altogether different understanding. We do. We do in general. So I never I may have dated in my life in my earlier 20s and teens because I was down and out in my late 20s and 30s with pain and disability. But yes, I believe I dated a narcissist, but not in that same, not a pure narcissist. Narcissism was there, but not a narcissist. So a lot of us don't. Here's the crazy thing. People don't understand that these people exist. I have difficulty speaking, just in case you don't know, to new people who watch this. And I do this unscripted for a reason. I could make these videos much better if I wrote point form and then just went through them, but I want to tell this like this. The population of people with narcissistic personality disorder, and it'll be borderline and it will be antisocial, but more borderline in narcissistic personality disorder. And I'm not pointing out that anything, no biases. I'm talking about their behavior and what they do to people. So, yeah, most people don't know that these people can do what they do. And that's really unfortunate, because anybody can become a target. Anybody. Nobody is immune. You wonder, who is it that they target? People with empathy. People who are... Now, I've heard many things. Do they target weak people? I don't think so. Lower boundaries, yes. But they see something in them, obviously. I don't think there is a consensus, like a definitive person. People with empathy. That part, but I mean, if you were to judge around the whole personality, the whole type of person they pick and what reason, it's going to be quite round, I think. But they're definitely going to go for people who have empathy and people who will listen to their sob stories, their victim roles, and try to piece them together. So they go after good people. Pardon me. Now for me, it was long distance. I'd only seen that person in person just a number of times. But a lot of time, I mean a lot of time, both on Messenger and the phone. You know, I don't know, maybe it was a year and a half, maybe a bit more than that. Isn't it funny how they just decide to switch up on you? And actually, I wanted to say this part. I'm watching the time because I have someone coming here. Their population is growing, and so I asked a question before that. I never hear people ever ask. Out of 100% of a population, if their population is growing, so here is 0, right? Here is 0 and here is 100. So they represent, let's just say, in there, they represent, like, just say 10%. So there's 90% left here, right? How much of this and growing is affecting this? It's got to be pretty big and growing. There's a lot of, don't mistake it, there's a lot of narcissism because of today's society, because of social media, because of things that they're learning, because of you're a princess, you're independent, you're this and that. That's not true narcissistic personality disorder, but it can appear the same. Sure, it could in many different factors, many different ways. So people who haven't experienced this and hear this may think they're hearing something completely foreign and unknown. The beginning can feel quite amazing, as you know, love bombing and the most, you know, you're so attractive and you can do this and you can do that. You know, they put you on top of a pedestal. They love bomb you. And what they do is they rise your dopamine to a level that, you know, like, I think I found someone. Someone who fits me. And that's what they reflect. They reflect to you what they think you would like. So I'm not going to go through my whole experience, because I've told it on this channel. And why tell it on a born-again Christian YouTube channel to warn people? I just finished my first exams, so that was 6 credits worth, and so I'm done that part now. I wouldn't be here if all those things didn't happen. There are many things that shot me forward, and it was because I learned what people are like. I put up my boundaries, and I do not accept people treating me in any certain way. Not only that, every person wants validation to some degree. And for me, I guess to some degree, I don't chase for validation. I suppose I was a people pleaser, but I always loved helping people. It's always just been a part of me. But I don't put up with that stuff anymore. Not even within my own family. Why? Because at the end of the day, I live alone. Do you worry about what people think about you? Because don't. Because at the end of the day, it means nothing. It means nothing. And the only one you're supposed to look to is God, because that's the only person who can justify you. That's why Paul the Apostle says, I don't care if you judge me. I don't even judge me. Pardon me. I have to keep pacing because my abdomen. I have about 15 minutes here. So I'm going to tell you the evil of this. Just one day, I remember waking up, and I would, I'd wake up, I'd turn on my Facebook, and I've long got rid of that, except for selling and stuff like that. And this person just, I remember the very morning, it was, no more cute emojis, stuff like that, on Messenger, because when I'd wake up, I'd speak to them, like, immediately, get up, look at my emails, look at whatever, take my pain meds, and then say hello or whatever. Then one morning it was just completely switched up, and it wasn't as if I didn't notice. That's when it began. I didn't put up with this for long, maybe 5 months in total. I felt humiliated and all that type of stuff, and I'm not the type of person who likes to take that stuff for long. I didn't know what was going on. And so I'm going to get to this point. You know how they'll twist every single thing on you, and at the end of it, they'll blame it on you. They'll do something and then they'll blame it on you. Whatever they do, they blame you for it. And in many cases, people believe it. It was June 5th, 2021. It wasn't going good with this person, and with my spinal disease, you may call it a disease, but it's rather just a scar tissue in my spine. Progressive scar tissue in my spine is very, very painful. And so I was very worried about getting the shot, okay? And I didn't want to, but I felt forced. I'm in Canada, the way it is crazy. They weren't letting people into certain places. So I decided to go and get one. Got that. Although my heart wasn't imaged for another year, I believe it was myocarditis. I'm positive it was. I had a huge rash that lasted for a week. Covered my entire abdomen, even up to my neck. Allergic reaction. I woke up, couldn't breathe. I think you guys heard this before. I was sick for many months. I could barely even walk. If I already had trouble already. Something was really wrong. And I was left with a very severe abdominal pain, which it was me who pointed out the damn diagnosis to them, to the radiologist, on their own readings. And it was a hyper gallbladder, which is extremely painful, like it's like a gallstone. It was induced by that. So there's that. I was very sick for many months. It was actually for a year and a half I was very sick, but those first 5 months it was my heart. During that time, so the switch up and all that type of stuff happened just before that, just before June 5th. I was incredibly sick. I lost 20 pounds, and I'm only like 123, 24 pounds because of my abdominal disorders. And I went down to 100 pounds. The only thing that this person cared to do was to mock me, to humiliate me, to do anything they can to belittle me. And here's my message. They will do everything you think you already know they can do and more on your very deathbed. You wonder why I make these videos? Anyone who doesn't understand this is evil personified. This is the devil in the flesh. There is a demon inside these people, each and every one of them. They are so fragile inside, so full of shame. They feel they have to do this because they were psychologically injured in their life, bad childhood, maybe they were, I don't know, physically, emotionally, sexually abused, and something happened, and you can't look at that and feel sorry for them. You can do that. You can have empathy, right? If you've been through trauma yourself, you can have sympathy, but you got to forget that for what they're doing to you. They've learned certain ways to behave. Their existence is to put you down, to lift them up. They have to live vicariously through you. They need your validation. They need it. They need to speak to you. They need to know where you are. They need to know everything about you. And they want to know everything about you so they can use it against you. I'm not telling you a lie. These people hide in plain sight, and what I mean is a covert narcissist. They're usually anxiety-ridden. They can put on a very good show. You know, may appear like social anxiety or something like that. They make fake physical illnesses. They play the victim role. What they appear outside with other people, they're chameleons. They blend into everything. But I would say someone with discernment, like a born-again Christian, and someone who has been through this, will see them as if they are completely undressed. What I mean is like in the garden, like in the Garden of Eden when they sinned against God. I see what you're doing. You can't hide from me. And they're too afraid of you now. Now that you've gotten better, now that you understand what it is, they will use your children against you as a bargaining chip just to get back at you. Can you remember the Amber Heard trial? That whole trial, Johnny Depp, and it was a time when I was starting to get better about this person. And I watch it, I'm like, wow. I'm like, this is a precedent. This case, it really blew things open. Johnny Depp wouldn't look at her the entire trial, not because he was scared of her psychologically, but because he didn't want to give her the validation. She stared at him the entire time, and did you see the way she was lying in front of the whole world? Anyways, I watched it, and you just know, and you know, it is my wish that these people can be saved, but you see the complexity is, you know, if I see a YouTube channel and it's about, you know, a covert narcissist who is trying to recover, I think that's a miracle. I think that's beautiful. I'd rather they find God, though. I have yet to find that. I haven't looked extensively or anything, but they try to cut you down little by little. Just little things here and there until you get to the point where you start being uninterested in a lot of things. Family, let's say you play the guitar, you're reading books, because all you can think about is all these little jabs here and there that they're doing. Because what they're doing is they're trying to break you down, to be like, they're punishing you for what happened to them. There it is. They're looking for a punching bag. Guys, they're evil. They're evil, and they do have a choice. God gave us a choice. We are free-willed. Now, I know some of you will say, I don't think so. I think, like, take a look. It looks like almost every single one of them doesn't ever turn to the good. And that may be true. But it's also true that they can be self-aware, which means they have a choice. They know what they're doing. But they're so far entrenched into their bad behavior that they can't turn back. They're rotten at the core, with shame and guilt and fear. They're scared children. That's what they are. So what happened to me made me realize what people are like, and it's not like I didn't. Okay, I guess I lost some trust in people, but more like I have to be a lot more careful. I can see what you're doing. Everyone I deal with, like I'm not going to put up with this. I'm not going to put up with any BS at all from anybody. I had to check if it was true that you could get brain damage from this, and you can. Let's check. Can you get brain damage? I'll just say from trauma. Emotional. Can cause brain damage by rewiring the... So it's like neuroplasticity. You can learn it again by rewiring the brain and affecting the amygdala, the hippocampus, and the prefrontal cortex. These areas of the brain are involved in the stress response, memory, and fear detection. People may experience emotional trauma who may have an overactive amygdala, which can make them more fearful of things that are connected to the traumatic event. So that's the one for emotional. So it does. It just rewires your brain. I hope that I've still dealing with the tail end of a kidney stone. I hope that someone who doesn't believe in Jesus Christ, who doesn't believe in God, sees this channel, and you're going through something. I promise you, if in your heart that you want to know if there is a God, if Jesus Christ is real, Jesus is God, and you're trying to heal from this, come at this in a genuine way. Ask God for help in a genuine way, and maybe He will draw near to you. And in fact, I think He will. I believe He will, if you're genuine about it, because I believe your healing from narcissistic abuse will be much more smooth. You'll see. You have to rebuild the ways you think. It'll be a journey, but if you're at day 0 right now, break off contact with the narcissist completely. Don't do any of those other things. Cut them off. Unless you have to live with them, develop a plan in your mind, come up with something, ask God for help, and maybe He'll help you. Read the Bible. Read the Bible. You'll get better day by day, and you'll discover who you really are, right? You have self-worth. We all have self-worth. And it's in nobody's right to beat that down. The people who do that are weak, and they know it. But they're so weak that they have to show strong. That's all I want to say, because someone's coming here very soon, guys. Thanks for watching this.